Okay, this is Joe's Mean Green Juice. I've got everything ready. Now, Joe's Mean Green Juice comes from the website Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It's a documentary about a guy who was very sick and had some pretty serious illnesses, and he did 60 days of juicing, and wow, just, yeah, see the story. No longer sick, doing healthy, and he's created this website, and a lot of this stuff comes from him. There's also an app, 101 Juices, I got from that same company, and I keep it on my iPhone. But this is where this juice came from. Now, it's going to have a cucumber, apple, celery, the kale, and a lemon and some ginger in it. And what I like to do first is, we're going to put about half a bottle of water in the blender. This just keeps everything moving, and we're actually going to get all of that back when we start when we drink it. So you're also hydrating at the same time, of course. Okay, and I like to juice the things that are going to produce the most moisture first, and that's going to be your cucumber and your apple and your celery. So let's get the apple in there. We got 1 cucumber. This is 3 small apples. This lemon, you're going to find that lemon is sort of like the croissant of juicing. And the reason I say that is, I had a friend tell me one time that you could wrap doo-doo in a croissant and it tastes good. Well, you can put lemon in a juice and it's going to cut a lot of the flavors that you may not necessarily like. So we'll start off with this. That's pretty much got me full enough to get this juice going in the VitaMix. So let's go ahead and get started. So I like to, I'm going to start on low, get it moving. And that's got that ready to go, all except for the straining of it. Now we'll add the celery in there. And the last thing we're going to add is the kale. And the reason I add the kale last, it's got the least amount of moisture in it. It also puts the most strain on the blending process. Let's get that in there. And although this may take a little longer to do, in general it takes me about 45 minutes, about 15 minutes of juice at night to get everything done. So get all that in there, and we'll turn it back on. And then we'll add our kale. As you can see, it gets filled up pretty quickly. It may take a couple of passes, and I may need to let some of this out, which I'm going to do. I'll do this, and then I'll let some juice out into the strainer. So this is a nice size juice. Now this is what I use. We use a bowl that's got pouring spouts on each end. And then of course the strainer. This is they call this a milk nut bag or something like that. And I'll get you a link to where you can purchase these. So I'll pour some of this out so there'll be more room to get the rest of my kale in there. But this bag's actually used to make almond milk. So there we go. So I don't want to pour everything in there because I'm going to need some liquid in there to be able to chop the rest of this kale up. It's weird. If you eat kale, course, kale's become very popular, I think, here recently because it's got so much stuff in it. So many healthy things. Let me finish that statement. If you eat kale by itself, you really don't notice this. One more time, hold on. I'll finish that statement again. But if you like eat a kale salad, you won't notice this. But when you juice it, you don't taste the sodium in it, and it really leaves you your juice with a little bit of a salty flavor to it. It's not bad. You'd think, oh, that doesn't sound good, but it's really not bad at all. Of course, none of this is bad. I mean, really, the way that you feel once you start juicing compared to the way that you felt before you started juicing is just amazing. Slipped off. I'm going to try to keep a little bit of the pulp out of there. And so this is our juice, Joe's Mean Green, and I'm just going to pull all the juice, separate the juice from the pulp. This takes 2-3 minutes, so I'll speed this up. Alright, when we're said and done, we end up with basically almost a Play-Doh consistency of the vegetables. So, out of all those vegetables, we're down to maybe a cup of pulp left. Now, you can use this for a couple of different things. I'm just going to throw it away today, but you can put it in your garden. If you need some fiber, you can actually drop it back into your juice and stir some of it in. Me personally, I like to get away from all of that and try to keep the pulp free. When I buy orange juice, I don't usually buy the one with pulp. Now, these are the bottles that I use, and I'll split this between, well, this is going to be much more than either one of these. And you know, when you're finished, it looks like a polluted pond with a bunch of algae in it, which is pretty nasty, I guess. And I simply just pour these up. So there's 2 juices completely down. We started with half a bottle of water, so we'll set these aside. And this is what we have remaining. About 3 ounces or so. So I'm going to get this cleaned up. It'll take just a few minutes. And this is Joe's Mean Green Juice.